When we're done planting the potatoes, this is what the bed looks like. So irrigation wise, we do not have a pump system, so everything flows along a line with very little pressure. So the way we set up our irrigation is probably a little different than a larger farm or someone who has better pressure options. So we use these professional sprayers, and I got to tell you, it makes a huge difference. You buy Home Depot stuff compared to this. There's that place in Parker, what's the name of it? It sells these green ones. It's a plumbing and irrigation place in Parker. It's probably one of the only ones. You can find them online. Anyway, John does all the irrigation, does such a good job. So you see how these are up inside of PVC pipe? It's because the bushes, the potato bushes get so big and full that you've got to get water in somehow. Like you can do drip, but drip for us has never worked. Again, we don't have pressurized things, blah, blah, blah. So this is what works best for us. And he's got it set up, the irrigation. So you see it comes from all directions. See that? It's pretty well watered. As the season goes on, we'll turn the water down and we'll use less of it towards the end of pulling them out of the ground. Any seed that you deal with needs more water up front. So we'll be watering more so now, right?
That's right.
So any other thing about the irrigation that you can think of?
Well, just primarily, and as Sabrina's saying, we're on a well, so we have to do all of our irrigation based on the number of gallons that our well can pump. So you have to know that if you're on a well system, or if you're trying to irrigate, if you're on a city system, to know what your water pressure is, to know how many gallons per minute you can pump, and then you have to calculate that against the water output of the heads of your sprayers.
Or just turn it on, and if it's not spraying, you know that there's a pressure issue and you've got to figure out what to do to change it.
That's what Sabrina does.
Yeah, see how different we are?
I'm more of the calculator. So,
yeah, he's like, oh, I'm like, just turn it on and fix it. So,
but ultimately, make sure that you have just good coverage, that your spray heads overlap, so you don't have any dead spots. Otherwise, you have to just adjust.
That's a really good point, dead spots. And the problem with this is that that's on the line, and there's other things. You see these beds, like he's got a line set up, and sometimes 2 or 3 sets of beds run at once, which takes the pressure away too. There's so much water running at one time. This bed, is it by itself, or is it with the asparagus?
This is a dedicated bed, dedicated watering system.
So a dedicated bed is good. This one will get watered well and do very well. And you see we just slightly put a little bit of straw on top to try to get weeds to be less in here, but notice how I spread it kind of in between the hump, because the hump has the plant coming out. See those plants coming out? And I want a little sun and a little attention outside of the dirt for those right now. So did straw in between the humps, and then we watered before we put the potato in, watered on top of the potato, buried it, and now we're watering again with the irrigation. So it'll be nice and soaked. The straw helps keep the moisture in there also. Is that it?
That's it.
That's our
good luck.
Yeah, our potato way. We've tried everything, and this is what works best for us. We just wanted to let everyone know who struggled that they can try this method. It works really well.